Good morning, everybody. Our group will be covering fractals in medicine. On the team, we got Segal, Eddie, Jelson, and I'm Ahmed. I'm going to start off with Segal. She's going to be covering neuro.
Hi, I'll be covering fractals and how they affect the neural network. So in order to understand, you need to understand how the nervous system works. The nervous system consists of the brain, the spinal cord, the sensory glands, and all the nerves that connect it. They are responsible for the control of the body and communicating with the rest of the organs of the body. So in order to understand blood vessels and fractals, you need to understand the shape of blood vessels. So here, just like nerve endings and just like tree branches, broccoli, things like that, you can see fractal dimensions. And fractals are self-similarity in patterns. So the self-similar patterns that you see in fractals are the same but different in terms of non-healthy nerves. So here we see a tree branch to kind of draw a parallel to the healthy nerves. This is a cancerous tumor, and to understand cancerous tumors and how they work with fractals, you need to understand angiogenesis, which is the process of tumors developing their own nerves and networks and blood vessels within it that add more blood into the tumor. So here you see the tumor, and it has developed its own network of blood vessels, and doctors have wondered how they can use blood vessels and fractals to understand how tumors are developing in our bodies and how they can apply new medications and things like that to us. So to understand how to better understand when a body has developed cancer, what type of cancer it is, if it's benign, if it's malignant, they have looked at blood vessels and how blood vessels have worked. So each blood vessel, whether it's healthy or not, has its own network and blood supply. And by understanding the fractal dimensions of it, you can better understand what type of tumor it is to foresee or figure out if somebody has cancer. So medical imaging like MRIs and ultrasound technology has never been sharp and never given doctors clear images of our body and our networks, within our blood. But doctors have now understood that with the use of fractal dimensions, they don't need to get that sharp image, because understanding blood flow in our body and understanding how in a cancerous tumor, the veins are more chaotic and tangled, whereas the fractal dimensions of a healthy blood vessel is much different and is more organized. So this has helped them understand blood flow and use it to apply it to cancer and treatment.
So what I'm going to be covering is the vascular system, or fractals in the vascular system. So first I'm going to let you guys know what a vascular system is. So vascular system is also known as the cardiovascular system, is the transportation system of our bodies. It consists of the heart, blood vessels, and the blood. So, and it is, it just consists of the blood, the heart, the blood vessels, and I'm going to tell you guys how it connects to fractals. So, in fractals, we have, you see, doctors could use the way the blood flows. So this is a normal way our blood flows through our body, and then when there's something going on, doctors could see, they could use the fractals to see all the abnormal, all the different tendencies that it has. And we can use fractals in we just saw a lot of fractals in our blood flow.
No, fractals.
Stop. Did you just run through a bunch of slides and say yeah while you rubbed your beard? I just want to point that out. I just want to point that out before we proceed.
You told us to be quick, right?
Good job.
Hey,
Keep going.
Time.
Keep going.
So now fractals in genetics. Just like Indy said, the properties of fractals can be goes all the way down to DNA as well. So I'm gonna talk about like what is DNA. I mean genetics. Genetics is the study of heredity through genes, and genes is made up of DNA, which is coiled up to form a chromosome inside the nucleus of the cell. And then how DNA works is it's like a recipe for, or like an instruction, or like a code or something. It has like next slide. Yeah, it contains like a sequence, which is like the C, A, G, and T, which are the, yeah, you can see that. And the cells, the ribosome of the cell like reads that like in 3 pairs, and then it makes a amino acid, and then those amino acid then combine to make a protein, and then that protein makes a cell, and cell makes a tissue, and tissue makes an organ, and organ makes a life. And then in genes there's a thing called fractal genes. It's like a specific gene which is it's like say like a fractal gene is responsible for making a blood vessel. So the code for that would be like, there's like a tube, and then like the instruction would be the length of that tube would be like 3 times longer than its width, and then after that it would like branch off into 2, and then it would apply again to make like a blood vessel. And this is this is proven or like back off with, because the fact about blood vessels, it can be 5 cells away from a cell. So like it should be like so it should be like everywhere in your body, right? Because you have like a lot of cells. And then it goes on what like Rick said, that because the blood vessel is only 5% of your mass. So if it's like everywhere, it should be like over 5%, right? So it's, because it's like a lot. And then, but it goes all the way back to the, what a fractal is. It's so it's like solves a problem about like you have a limited space, but you need like a lot of branches, right? So yeah, so that's like the main reason why the blood vessel is a fractal. Yeah. Next slide. That's a DNA. Next slide. And then that's the blood vessels and stuff. You can go on.
Alright, I'm going to be talking about viral fractals, and I'm going to be talking more about DNA because it kind of relates to viruses. So what is a virus? A virus is a biological agent that lives and also transmits in living cells in a host. What is a host? A host is basically living organisms. Humans are one, plants could be another. Okay, go back to this. This is it's a basic bio it's a basic bio atomic structure of a living bacteria cell. It's a fractal, and it's pretty cool, as you can see. But furthermore into viruses, it's split into there's DNA and RNA. Those are the basic structures, genetic structures of the virus. And how it relates to fractals is that there's a term, DNA fractal antenna. Pretty much that's how fractals is measured. So basically, there's a transmission of EMTs, electromagnetic transmissions, that scientists use to determine whether cells are in growth or the longevity of diseases. Can you go to the next slide? This is a cross-section of the Zika virus. Zika virus is mainly transmitted through mosquitoes in the daytime, and it affects the living cells of hosts. The the out of shell is the basic RNA genetic structure of the cell. The blue is also little like amino acids, because as Jonathan said, DNAs are mainly consist of amino acids and proteins. The green is usually the proteins that you can see. And how basically viral fractals work is that it gives scientists like the knowledge to see how a person can deal with viruses or the treatments they can use in helping that. So yeah. This is another diagram. It's also it's a really in-depth structure of an atomic bacterial fractal. So.
Any questions?
That was your conclusion? Any questions? What's the difference between ribonucleic acid-based viruses and deoxyribonucleic-based viruses?
I've never heard that one. I'll be honest.
Hey, you know that this is his hobby.
Can you repeat that question again?
Sure. What is the difference between ribonucleic acid-based viruses and deoxyribonucleic-based viruses?
So deox will be with no oxygen.
No. Good try, though. I see where you're going with that.
Ribo is more with amino acids. And
Nope. Anybody else? Questions? Yeah.
Are viruses alive?
Ooh.
are viruses alive?
Yeah.
No and yes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, we're out of time. Say bye to the camera.